Welcome to Basic Brewing Video. I'm James Spencer.
I'm Steve Wilkes.
Now this base recipe is kind of familiar because I've used it to make a coffee stout, an extract coffee stout.
Yeah.
And then I made the all-grain version to make my oak-aged stout. And so our buddy Aaron Mayer, who's the distiller up at Pine Bluffs Distilling in Wyoming, sent me some bourbon. Oh, and I forgot. Here we go. Here.
Okay.
It is our Halloween episode. Happy Halloween! Sent some Lodgepole Creek bourbon whiskey from Pine Bluffs Distilling up in Wyoming. And so he also sent me 10 pounds of Vienna malt, which I made a Vienna... A Vienna Kolsch,
yeah.
Yes, that's right. A Wyoming Vienna Kolsch, which is on another show. But then we sampled this bourbon the other night, and it was really tasty. And I said, you know what? I want to make a bourbon stout.
Yeah.
So what I did was I made the base stout, and then I put some bourbon in it. Do you want to you want to hear what I did?
Yeah, I'll be back later.
Turned into Foster
Carry
Brooks all
on.
of a sudden. Okay. Into 3 gallons or 11.4 liters of water, I put 8 ounces or 226 grams of chocolate malt, 8 ounces or 226 grams of black patent malt, and 8 ounces or 226 grams of brown malt. I crushed it, I put it in a grain sock, and then I heated the water to 150 degrees Fahrenheit or 65 C, and I steeped that grain in there for 30 minutes. And after the 30 minutes, I took it out, and while the water was at that temperature, I added 3.3 pounds or 1.5 kilograms of Munich liquid malt extract and 1 pound or 450 grams of Pilsen Light dry malt extract. And I brought that up to boiling and added 1 ounce or 28 grams of UK Fuggle for 60 minutes. And that's the beer. And so I chilled that, and it was still hot. When it was in the middle of September, it was still super hot. So I chilled it, and I had to use my ice water recirculating pump configuration to get it down to pitching temperature. And after I did that, I pitched Imperial A01 House, which is from Imperial Organic Yeast, and I fermented that out, and then I put the beer into a Mr. Beer little keg fermenter.
Yeah.
And then I added bourbon 1 ounce at a time until it tasted right. I stirred it and I tasted it out of the little spigot. Wound up 3 ounces or 90 milliliters of bourbon in that 2 gallons of beer. And then because the house yeast, it flocculates like crazy. It's really just right down to the bottom. I rehydrated about half a pack of USO5 in 1 cup of boiled and chilled water and put that in there at bottling time along with a carbonation drop in each bottle. And that's it. Original gravity 1072, final gravity 1022. It finished pretty high. But in the other version that I did of this, it finished high as well. And I think it's that liquid malt extract. I think it just finishes a little higher.
Yeah.
It's not as fermentable as
I think you're right.
Maybe the dry.
And with this bourbon in it, I'll probably finish a little high.
ABV is only 6.7% before the bourbon, though. So I think I got all the steps in there.
Okay.
So let's try it out.
Let's do it.
We did that. We tested. I was going to give us little tasters to taste the bourbon, but then I thought, well, but then we'd ruin our taste buds.
Yeah,
so
we can do that later.
So, ooh, a healthy pour. Oh, beautiful. Look at that.
That's what I'm talking about. A fine and steady hand.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Now, we liked the base recipe. We liked it with coffee. We liked it with oak.
Oh, it smells really good.
Oh, that's good. It's really good. It's kind of sweet.
Yeah, that's okay though.
But I think with that, and it's not like hit you over the head with a bourbon. What I wanted was just like a hint of the bourbon. I didn't want smack you in the face with bourbon. I wanted the bourbon to be a flavor component in the beer, and that's why it's handy to blend and taste and blend and taste and kind of get the balance right. So what do you think?
I think it's really good. And I agree with you about the level of bourbon. It's really good. My biggest complaint, is that right? Yes. It is the right level.
It's fast acting.
Smoked beers, bourbon barrel aged beers, all those, a lot of times they're just overwhelming. And I always find, and I always recommend to my customers, to taste as you go. Do it as late in the process as you can, so that you can have the most control over the flavor as you can. And so I highly recommend that if you can do something like James did, which was to add the flavor component, in this case bourbon, at bottling, then you can have the best control over it. It's a great way to do it, and that way you get the flavor that you like. If you like a really strong bourbon or whatever component, then great. I don't. I like it to be just there, just a hint. And that way the beer still shines out, but you do know that you've got that bourbon or scotch or whatever it is that you want in it.
Yeah, there's the sweetness from the malt. There's the roasty component from the specialty grains or the specialty malts. But then there's that bourbon on the bourbon in the back end. There's a bourbon on the back end, which usually costs extra. Well, but it really brings a complexity to it.
That's super good.
And I don't know nothing about bourbon, but I like that stuff. Aaron Mayer up at Pine Bluff Distilling did a good job.
Yeah, he did.
And this, I think, is I hope it's a good complement to that.
Well, it's really nice. It's not overpowering. It's warming. I mean, you definitely put some booze in there because it's definitely a warming beer. I can really feel. I hope I didn't just kill people. Hope your
I'll
ears
cut
are
it out.
okay.
I'll fix it. I'll fix it in post.
Yeah, we'll do it live. Wow, that's super good. That's super good. I'm gonna turn into Foster Brooks at any moment.
Well, thank you. But I like that. I like that base recipe to add, flavor components to. And I'm thinking, what else could you add to that? You could add some cherry.
Yep.
Maybe to that, make a cherry stout.
Ancho chilies.
Ancho chili. Ooh, yeah, that'd be a good one. Yep. Some vanilla. That'd be good.
Yep.
We've done coffee. We've done oak. Use your imagination.
Absolutely.
So you make and happy Halloween. I'm calling this my Bourbon Stout.
That's a stretch even for me.
No costume this year and no cereal beer this year. I didn't want to brew something wacky that I didn't want to drink. I just was not in the mood this year. So
happy Halloween.
I
thought you were going to make a candy corn mead.
Ugh. That's next year.
Somebody will do that.
It's been done, I'm sure.
Candy corn habanero mead. That's the challenge.
All right, everybody. Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
We'll talk to you next time. Happy brewing. Come and visit us online. At basicbrewing.com, you can find archive lists of our audio and video podcasts on home brewing. You can also find our DVDs and our Brewer's Logbook, where you can track and log up to 50 batches of beer. If you're in Fayetteville, Arkansas, stop by Steve's Brew Shop or find him online at stevesbrewshop.com. Oh, and I forgot. Here we go. Stay still.
I can't hold this very long.
That's what she said. Here.
Okay.